There's money sitting in a government account right now with your name on it, and the Social Security Administration is counting on one thing, that you'll never know to ask for it. The Social Security Administration operates under more than 1,200 separate rules, rules that govern who gets paid, how much, and when. But here's what they don't tell you in those rules. There are benefits buried inside that system that the vast majority of Americans, including people who've already filed, have never heard of. Today, we're exposing three of them, benefits that are completely legal, completely available, and almost completely ignored. By the time this video ends, you could be looking at anywhere from $500 to over $1,000 per month in additional income you didn't know you were owed. Let's get into it.
Benefit number one involves a marriage that ended years ago, maybe decades ago, and your ex-spouse doesn't need to know a thing. Benefit number two, it could put money in your household every single month, even if your children are still in school. And benefit number three is the one that makes people the most angry when they find out, because the SSA is technically required to tell you about it. And most of the time, they don't. Stay with me.
Let's start with a benefit so overlooked that retirement specialists call it one of the greatest unclaimed windfalls in the American financial system. It's called the divorced spouse benefit. Here is how it works. If you are married for at least 10 years and you're currently divorced and unmarried, you may be entitled to receive up to 50% of your ex-spouse's Social Security benefit, even if they remarried, even if you haven't spoken in 20 years, even if they actively don't want you to. Here's what makes this remarkable. Your ex-spouse is never notified that you claimed. The SSA keeps it completely confidential. Their benefit does not go down by a single cent. It is as if you are drawing from an entirely separate fund. Many women who stepped out of the workforce to raise children and who later went through a divorce assume they have little or nothing coming from Social Security. That assumption could be costing them thousands of dollars every single year. Example, your ex-husband's full retirement benefit is $2,400 per month. As a divorced spouse, you could receive up to $1,200 per month. Over 20 years of retirement, that's $288,000. The SSA will not call you to let you know this exists. You have to go looking for it. Up next, a benefit that applies to families with children still at home. And if you think your retirement benefits are just about you, you may have been leaving money on the table every single month. Billions every year, not because the money doesn't exist, because nobody told people to ask. Here is something that stops almost everyone the first time they hear it. When you begin collecting Social Security retirement benefits, your dependent children under the age of 18 may also qualify to receive benefits on your earnings record. Up to 50% of your full retirement benefit per child per month. Let's run the numbers. You retire at 62. Your full retirement benefit is $2,000. You have a 10-year-old child. Your child could receive up to $1,000 per month until they turn 18. That's up to $96,000 in benefits for one child. And most parents filing for Social Security never ask about this. Now, before you think, my kids are grown, listen closely, because what I'm about to say is even more significant. If you have a child of any age who has a disability that began before age 22, they may qualify for what is called the Disabled Adult Child Benefit for the rest of their life, based on your Social Security record. This program, often abbreviated DAC, is one of the most underclaimed in the entire Social Security system. A 2022 survey found that fewer than 30% of families with an eligible disabled adult child were actually receiving these benefits. And here's what makes it even more powerful. These benefits continue after the parent passes away, automatically converting into survivor benefits. It is a lifetime financial safety net built directly into Social Security law. It's there, it's funded, and most families who qualify for it have no idea it exists. When you call the SSA, ask specifically about auxiliary benefits on your earnings record. Those are the words that matter. If you don't use that phrase, the agent may not bring it up on their own. Write it down. Auxiliary benefits. It could be the most important thing you say on that call. The third benefit is the one I hear about the most because when people discover it, the reaction is almost always the same. Why didn't anyone tell me this sooner? It involves the timing of when you file, and a payment option, the SSA, is legally required to offer you, but almost never does. That's next. What I'm about to explain has been called a legal loophole. It is not a loophole. It is written directly into the Social Security Act. Congress put it there. It has been there for decades. The SSA just doesn't advertise it. Here's the scenario. You reach your full retirement age, let's say 67, but life gets in the way. You're still working. You forget to file. 6 months go by. You're now 67 and a half, and you finally sit down to claim your benefits. Most people assume those 6 months are simply gone. The money is lost. Move on. They are wrong. Under Social Security rules, if you file at or after your full retirement age, you can request up to 6 months of retroactive benefits paid as a lump sum immediately. Depending on your benefit amount, that single check could be anywhere from $6,000 to $12,000 or more, deposited directly into your account within weeks of filing. Now, and this is critical, there is a trade-off. If you accept the retroactive lump sum, your ongoing monthly benefit will be calculated as if you had claimed 6 months earlier. That means your permanent monthly payment will be slightly reduced, typically 3 to 4% less for life. So is it worth it? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. It depends on your health, your financial situation, and how long you expect to collect. But here is the point. The SSA is supposed to explain this option to you when you file. Legally, they're required to present it. In practice, according to consumer advocates and financial planners, agents frequently skip past it, especially during busy filing periods. So you have to ask directly, by name. When you call to file at or after your full retirement age, say these words: am I eligible for a retroactive payment? And if so, what are my options? Do not wait for them to bring it up. Ask the question. A financial planner in Ohio shared the story of a client, a 68-year-old woman who had been eligible for 2 years without knowing about this provision. When they finally filed and requested the retroactive period, she received a lump sum of over $8,400. She used it to pay off credit card debt that had been hanging over her for years. Her words, "I wish someone had told me about this 10 years ago." That story isn't unusual, it's common. Let's bring it all together. Benefit number 1, the divorced spouse. Benefit: if you were married for 10 or more years and are currently unmarried, you may be owed up to 50% of your ex's full benefit. Completely confidential. Zero impact on their payments. Zero permission required. Benefit number 2, auxiliary benefits for dependent children, including the Disabled Adult Child Program, one of the most powerful and least known programs in the Social Security system. If you have a disabled child of any age whose disability began before 22, this could be a lifetime benefit. Benefit number 3, the retroactive lump sum option. If you file at or after full retirement age, ask explicitly about retroactive payments. A 6-month window could mean thousands of dollars in a single payment. None of these require a lawyer. None require political connections. They require one thing: knowing the right questions to ask. Here's your action step right now before you close this video. Go to ssa.gov and create a My Social Security account if you don't have one. It takes 10 minutes. It shows you your complete earnings history, your projected benefit at every claiming age, and what your family members may be eligible for. It's free, it's secure, and it is the starting point for every single strategy we talked about today. If this video surprised you, good, that's the point, and we're just getting started. In our next video, we go even deeper. We break down the single biggest mistake Americans make when they choose when to claim, a decision that, depending on your birth year, could cost you over $100,000 in lifetime benefits. We call it the claiming age trap. The link is right up there. If this helped you, hit the like button. It tells us to make more of this, and it helps put this information in front of the people who need it most. Subscribe so you don't miss what's next. And if you have a question about your specific situation, drop it in the comments. We read every single one. The information exists. The benefits exist. Now you know where to look.